So today I'm going to be going over 10 fragrances that I'm going to be wearing in 10 years from now. I thought this was kind of a cool video idea to do, to go through my collection and pick out some of my favorites, pick out some of the scents that really resonate with me on more than just a level of smelling good and smelling pleasant and being wearable. I'm really choosing scents here that I connect with, that I enjoy a lot, and that I'll find myself reaching for 10 years down the road. I don't think I'm ever going to get tired of these. Now, some of these I've already been wearing for the past 3-4 years that I've been into this, but others of these are newer scents that I've discovered within the past year or so. And it's also very important to note that this is only 10, right? I have a lot of other fragrances I could find myself wearing 10 years down the road. So if you like this sort of video, let me know by leaving a like and a comment that you enjoy this, and I'll do like a part 2 or a follow-up to this one sometime in the future. And also let me know a few fragrances that you think you'll be wearing 10 years down the line. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. First up, we have Armani Code Absolu. Vanilla, tonka bean, orange, and suede are some of the main notes in this one. Primarily vanilla is what this one's about. So it's a nice designer level vanilla scent. A little bit of a creamy orange up top, a nice powdery tonka bean, a little bit of suede in here, and that kind of helps to give it somewhat of a masculine approach. Since this is a designer fragrance, something that is marketed for men, they wanted to throw in something that makes it a little bit masculine, gives it somewhat of that men's sexy edge, and that's kind of what the suede does. But primarily this is a sweet fragrance, and that in and of itself makes it a bit different. You know, the vanilla tonka bean approach isn't something that's used in a lot of traditional men's fragrances, so that one kind of sets it apart. For me, I personally love it. I'm a big fan of vanilla and fragrances, and this one is done in such a good way. There's a bit of a spicy kick in here as well, and that just makes it even more interesting. Great for fall, great for winter, great for dates and evenings out and that sort of thing. Now, this is not a cheapie. You know, Armani fragrances are going to be on the higher end of the spectrum in terms of designers, but you can get them on discounters. I will link this down below along with everything else in this video, so you can grab them at a nice discounted price. Up next, we have Guerlain L'Homme Ideal Extreme. This one has tobacco, almond, and plum as some of the main notes, and this is a newer release, and this stuff here turned out amazing. It's a really nice addition to this L'Homme line. There's quite a few flankers at this point, but what I like about this one is the tobacco that's in here, and also that fruity plum kind of fresh top note. Of course, you still get the almond, which is a staple in this line. It's nice and creamy and smooth. The tobacco gives it a masculine feel. Get that freshness from the plum. This one here is a stunning scent and is by far my favorite from the entire line. I like it better than the Eau de Parfum. I like it better than the Intense. This one here is killer. And for me, I don't think I'm ever going to get tired of wearing this one. I mean, it's one that you can wear regardless of age. It's probably going to be more suited for people who like something a bit different versus younger guys who are maybe into the freshies. But I can see myself wearing this one for years and years to come. Great for fall, great for winter time. Another one that would be great for a date or a more dressed up situation as well. And even in the springtime, cooler spring days, this one will work really nice as well. If you're a fan of the L'Homme Ideal line from Guerlain, this one here is a must-have. This stuff is awesome. Up next, we have Tom Ford Costa Azzurra. This one has driftwood, lemon, seaweed, and cypress as some of the main notes. Now, this, as you can tell, is the re-released version here in the signature line, and was once a private blend in the blue bottle. Comparing this to the private blend, they're very similar. I mean, it's splitting hairs. Both of them are very similar. And this one is also going to be much more affordable than the private blend, which is really nice that Tom Ford is doing this, because it is making this fragrance and these fragrances more accessible in terms of pricing. Now, this one's interesting, and Tom Ford is really good at being interesting, right? They have so many different fragrances. A lot of them are in the private blend, at least that's where they started, that have just set trends that have made such a difference in the community when it comes to fragrances. They've created some very different marine fragrances like this one, and they've done quite a few remarkable things. This one is a marine scent. You know, you get that driftwood, you get that seaweed, but it's also so upscale. It's musky, it's a bit classic and traditional from that cypress, that lemon, you know, kind of goes in that direction, but it does have a modern take on it due to the marine quality that this one has. If you want a marine summertime scent that smells like nothing else out there, Costa Azzurra is the way to go. And again, you can now get it in a more affordable version here with this one. I don't think discounters carry this one yet, so retailers are going to be your only way to go currently, but it is 100% worth a pickup. Up next, we do have a niche fragrance. This one is Memo African Leather. I wanted to include a couple of them in here. This is one of them. This one has leather, cardamom, and patchouli is some of the main notes. This right here has to be my favorite leather fragrance ever. And this also has to be my favorite cardamom fragrance ever. That's what it's all about. Nice spicy oriental cardamom, nice smooth leather. And then the patchouli in here also gives it a kind of a bit of a woodiness, a bit of an earthiness, a touch of a green aspect about this one. I mean, this and Tuscan leather are probably a couple of the best leather fragrances out there, but they're completely different, and that's why I like this one so much. It's all about that sexy, spicy cardamom, making it something that is sexy. You know, it's a niche fragrance, and normally they're not going to be something that's going to be good compliment getters or something like that, but this one is. It's got that sexy spiciness. It has that nice leather in here, so it is masculine, and it smells absolutely beautiful. By far one of my favorites, and this one I can almost guarantee is something I'm going to be wearing 10 years or more down the road. It is that good. If you haven't smelled this one, you definitely need to get your nose on it. It is breathtaking. Now, Memo fragrances can be a bit harder to grab online, but you can get this one from Twisted Lily. That is where I got my bottle, and I will link it down below. Do remember to use my code CHAOS10 to get 10% off site-wide, so that's always active, and it works on anything, whether you're getting African leather or Parfums de Marly, which they carry now, Roja Parfums, Amouage, Nishane, Mancera, right? The list goes on. They carry really any niche brand that you can think of, and that code CHAOS10 works for everything, 10% off site-wide. Some of their fragrances they do also offer samples of, so you can buy a little sample of it, and that code works for that as well. So make sure you take advantage of that over there. Twisted Lily, again, one of the best places to go for niche fragrances, and that's where you can find this one. Authentic, quick shipping, and you can save some money as well. Up next, we have Ferragamo Uomo Signature. Coffee, leather, and tonka bean are some of the main notes in this one. So it still has a lot of that tonka bean powdery sweetness from the original, and the coffee and leather makes this one a bit more masculine, a bit less playful, and a bit less youthful, right? Because the original is very young and playful smelling. And while this one still has some of that going on because it is very sweet, the leather and the coffee do a good job to help bring it back and just give it a bit more of a different, darker twist. For me, this is by far my favorite and the best flanker from the line, and I do think we are kind of due for another one. The last couple, Urban Feel and Casual Life, are fresher ones, and yeah, they do smell good. They are great for, you know, being mass appealing, compliment getters, that sort of thing. But I would like to see another swing at this sweeter side of the DNA. Perhaps maybe making one with a bit of oud, some cardamom, oriental notes, more of a boozy kind of approach or something along those lines would be kind of cool. Hopefully they do that at some point. But Uomo Signature, very good. And this one I can see myself wearing 10 years down the road easily. It does have a bit of that youthful approach, but again, it's counterbalanced here and it smells incredible. For the price, this one is seriously really hard to beat. Highly recommended. Up next, we have Prada Luna Rossa Black. This one has amber and tonka bean as a couple of the main notes. Angelica in here as well. Gives it a bit of a freshness, but it's really all about that powdery tonka bean. Nice, sweet amber. That's what it is here. That's what you get from this one. If you're not a fan of powdery, you're not going to be a fan of Prada Luna Rossa Black. But I find that this one really does a fantastic job of creating something sweet, something that is good for the winter time, but at the same time still has that Prada clean, high quality, not really freshness, but just a clean, high quality approach that you would expect from Prada, right? Prada L'Homme, Prada Infusion Dome, all of their different fragrances, right? Even the others in the Luna Rossa line, the fresher ones, they all have that soapy, clean, upscale freshness about them. And even though this one here is very powdery, very sweet, there's still something in here that screams class, that screams, you know, high end, high quality. Even though it's very sweet, I don't know, they're just very good at what they do. Prada puts out some great releases, and they're another brand that I would hope that we see a new release from here soon. Prada Luna Rossa Black is a beauty, one of my favorites. It's addicting, it's alluring. It's another great one for the fall and winter time. Up next, we have Viktor & Rolf Spicebomb Extreme. vanilla, tobacco, and black pepper are the main notes in here. So it's spicy like you would expect. You get the tobacco like you would expect. But where this one shines through is that nice introduction of a sweet, warm vanilla. This one smells so, so good. It's such a great evening date fragrance, even though it's Spicebomb, and you're probably thinking that Spicebomb would be the last thing you'd want to wear on a date because of how strong it is. This one, while it is still spicy, it's not as spicy as the original Eau de Toilette. That vanilla really does a good job of kind of putting a blanket over the spicy notes in Spicebomb to make it more smooth, more wearable, more creamy, and really just good for a date or an evening out, that sort of thing, just in a closer encounter environment. This one shines in that department. It's great for fall. It's great for winter. This one is unparalleled in terms of quality from designers. I mean, Viktor and Rolf, they create some amazing things, and they are more expensive, but that higher price tag does give you something that has great performance, great wearability in cooler weather, and like I said, great quality as well. This is one of my favorites for wintertime, and this one's not going to be leaving my collection anytime soon. I'm going to be wearing this for years to come in the cooler months. Moving down to the end here, we have an obvious one. Dolce & Gabbana The One Eau de Parfum, amber, tobacco, and ginger are some of the main notes in here. It's kind of seeing a trend. You know, we're seeing a lot of tobacco fragrances, we're seeing a lot of sweeter fragrances, and that's just really how my palette has gone over the past, I don't know, year and a half maybe, or a year or so, somewhere around there. I've really been getting into the heavier scents, and this one is one that I've been into for a long time. It's just a really, really good signature scent, but also works great for evenings out as well. I think that's kind of the best use for this one, but if you wanted to grab it and only have a few fragrances in your collection, this one would be great for a date as well as wearing it out to work or school or anything. This DNA just works. It's timeless. It's a masterpiece. It's modern. It just smells so good. It's so masculine and a great compliment getter. I'm going to be wearing this one forever. Such a great, great scent, and it's addicting as well. Bvlgari Aqua Atlantique. This one has ambroxan and aquatic notes as some of the main notes in here. Some bergamot, some other citrus as well, but really it's all about sea saltiness. It's all about a ton of ambroxan, and it just gives off this blue fragrance mixed with a aquatic seaweed type of smell from the original Bvlgari Aqua. Such a great scent, and one of my favorite things about this one is its performance. For a summer aquatic fragrance, it does amazing. 10, 11, 12 hours longevity, very strong projection, especially in the heat. Sometimes can be maybe a bit too strong depending on how much you spray. This stuff gets it done every time. My girlfriend loves it. She always wants me to wear it. I always want to wear it, so it works out good. Just for summertime, it's so fun, so casual, so playful, and it smells great. It's another one that's kind of addicting. You know, it's got that playful kind of saltiness about it. It smells so good, and it works so well. And it's also affordable. You can get it on discounters for mid-$40 range, and for a fragrance that lasts that long and is that versatile, you're going to get your money's worth out of that immediately. Last up, another obvious one, so I did throw it in at the end, but it is applicable for this video. Aventus. This is one that I will never stop wearing. Just kind of one of those fragrances I like to wear to create memories with anymore, just because, you know, it just has that sentimental value about it. You know, it's something that I don't wear every day, even though I have enough of it where I could probably wear it every day. I just don't, you know. I like to save it for special occasions. If there's a certain event that I want to capture a memory with, I'll wear something like Aventus or Elysium or something. And hey, Elysium, maybe we'll make it into part 2 of this video if I do that for sure. But, you know, that just is what it is. Great scent that really works well with me. It's another one that my girlfriend loves, and she wants me to wear it, you know, sometimes often as well. Just a great scent that I will always wear, and I will definitely be wearing it 10 years from now. That is Creed's Aventus. So guys, that's going to do it for me. That was 10 fragrances I'm going to be wearing in 10 years from now. Again, let me know some of your fragrances that you're still going to be wearing several years down the road. And remember, if you want to grab any of these fragrances for yourself, they will be linked down below to fragrance discounters. And remember, over at Twisted Lily, to use the code CHAOS10 for 10% off. So we can pick up a lot of the popular niche fragrances and get a discount while you're doing it. Thanks so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.